Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show. I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit the like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And you can see the Nasdaq was down on Friday, but not by much, even though we saw a gap down and then recovery here in the market. And you can see the memory shortage is shaking Apple and Microsoft, but it is worse for the smaller guys. Despite all that, the market was just packed with volatility. And here's another thing that SpaceX is coming down to earth right now. You can see nowadays this thing is actually selling off from almost or actually from 230, and now it's down to 150. And I think there is plenty of downside left on SpaceX because this is a company not like Tesla. They don't really have any money coming in, especially when it comes to revenue, right? Nothing big coming in. And who's actually going to space? So we'll see how that plays out. But what the market did on Friday, if you look at my screen, we got Dow absolutely flat, Nasdaq down 0.24%, nothing big, S&P flat, Russell up 0.31%. Advancing, we got 65.7, declining 30. So that tells the story here why the market was really choppy on Friday. 11 sectors. Healthcare led the way on top. Consumer cyclical, real estate, consumer defensive, utilities, financial, communication services, basic materials. But look at this. There's a lot of rotation happening, guys. So this is not some sort of crash like everything is selling off. This is one-sided. Who's taking the beating? Industrials, technology, and energy sector. Stock market map, when you look at here, you can see a lot of the names are green. And finally, it's good to see Microsoft and Apple actually getting green day and nice big move to the upside. But who's actually coming down? Some of these semiconductor names and memory chips, right? These were down on the day, so I think there will be some sort of a rotation into the Mag 7. A lot of these names are actually down significantly. And the memory chips, I think these things here, they went up so much, and now it's time to come down. What do we have next week? I think, a few things to look at next week. Job opening here on Tuesday, but I think we got Kevin Warsh speaking. Uh, yeah, he speaks on one of these days. I don't know exactly what day here, but let's just see if we can find out. Kevin Warsh speaks. I don't see it here, but this is gonna be really crucial. Joel's job opening here next week, and then ISM also that could move the market. Non-farm payroll, but I think Wednesday, somewhere Wednesday, right here, Fed Chair Warsh speech. I don't know what that is about, but we'll see if that brings some volatility here in the market. Fear and greed index. So when it comes to market selling off, when you look at this, I mean, this is kind of weird. This is actually into extreme fear. That means what? You're gonna see rotation, and that's why you're seeing this. Uh, the market sentiment, you can see 45% are bullish, 36% are bearish, and 19%, about 19, are neutral here in this market. On Microsoft, it's up 5.71%, nearly 6% up on the day. Now, this is going to be good news for some folks, people that are long on a Microsoft and holding. And I'm going to show you guys. I mean, if you go back and look at this, this was the last time, but it wasn't that much. But I mean, we got to go far, far back, maybe somewhere here where you will see a lot of volume came in, and we put in a bottom and then a double bottom here, just like the way we have right here. Look at that volume that came in, guys. Massive, huge bounce to the upside, up nearly 6%. But also keep that in mind, it's coming off very oversold condition. So Microsoft, they had earnings back in April, and there is another one that is coming very soon. So if the market is going to rotate, I think the opportunity is right here. And now that we got this big bounce with really high volume. It's trading over 374. If we can get over 378 right here, then watch out for a move all the way up to 382, and possibly at some point, I think before earnings, as long as you can hold up, especially this 367 level and the 5-day moving average is right there. You can see that blue line. I think this gap will likely to get filled right here at 391-ish and possibly even go higher. So looks really good, especially when it comes to, there's strong selling to the downside and then volume showing up and going back up almost 6% in a day. We just have to wait and see if there is going to be continuation going into that 4th of July weekend next week. On Apple stock is up 3%. So Apple, I called it on Thursday, and literally like nobody wanted because it was coming down so hard. But this was fantastic. I took profit on this play. It was really nice. A $10 move to the upside we caught, more than 10 actually. But you can see big bounce with high volume on it. So this could be somewhat of a bottom in the short term, and I think there is still more upside. We're gonna fill that gap at some point. We had this bear flag played out, and now bounced off of that 277. We went slightly lower, and now it's trading over 280 also. So watch out. If this thing continues, we can definitely come up and retest previous highs, 288. That breaks, you're going to fill the gap at 293. To the downside, 280 breaks, 277, 272. These are some key zones to watch, but I cannot ignore this volume here, guys, that came in on Friday. On Tesla stock, it's up 1.22%. So it's out there, and I've been talking about it in my video for past couple of days right here that Tesla, we got this, right? We got this flag kind of pattern here. It just trading inside this, wedge flag. If this thing breaks out, gets over 395, I think we are gonna see a massive short squeeze to the upside here on Tesla. Now, key support zone to watch this 375 to the lower Bollinger Band 367. Underneath that, this is going to break down and you're not going to see that. But I think next week, if we can get that move all the way up to 395, there's going to be continuation up to 400 to 405 to come up and test these moving averages, 50-day and 20-day, which we got this cross to 20-day crossing below the 50-day, which is not a bull trend, but if this thing breaks out, that's the main thing, then you're going to see a big run up to the upside and possibly a short squeeze. So just a quick reminder for you guys, there will be a big sale for 4th of July coming up next week on Patreon. And if you guys are really serious about trading, you want to do this full time, get all types of trade ideas, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. On AMD, it's down 2% on Friday, and a lot of rotation happening. Semiconductor names and especially memory chips, those were actually crashing down on Friday. And I think there is ton more downside on those. At some point, money will come out of these, and money will rotate back into especially big names like Microsoft, Meta, and then Google, Amazon. That's another one. A lot of these Meg 7 names, they're down pretty significantly. So I think the opportunity is there on Meg 7, and we're gonna see that very soon. So AMD here, that 503 held even on Friday. You can see back to back came down here, 503 to 500 key support zone. That breaks, will fill the gap at 490. Underneath that, 470. To the upside now, it has to break this 5-day moving average, 529 to 530. If it breaks over, watch out for a move up to 550, 551, and then we can talk about going higher on AMD, but I just don't think without a catalyst that's going to actually happen anytime soon. On Meta, it's up 1.36%. So Meta, I mean, this thing just getting absolutely destroyed. We came really close to closing the gap. We did not fill the gap, which is bullish. You don't want to see this gap fully closing. I mean, that would be really weak, especially if you're a bull on Meta. But this thing also just, a falling type of wedge here. If we can get that, move over um, 558, 560 over this 5-day moving average, you're going to see a move all the way up to the 20-day 583. Meta, also another big name coming off of all-time highs. I mean, nearly 800, and now it's 550, closer to 500, right? So big correction here on Meta, big sell-off, and now if this thing bounces back up, we will see Meta going to the upside once again. And don't forget this trend line. But when you look at this monthly time frame, guys, I mean, it doesn't look good, but also the lower band is right here at 512. You can see we came down here before. We came back again close to it, and we're just hanging in there. So if this thing can bounce off of this monthly support, we should see Meta going back up to all-time highs. Not gonna happen, next week or the week after, but that should be, something that's going to take place in future. On Google, stock is down 2%. So Google, another one, had a nice move up on Friday, but then gave it all back down over 2%. This one also had a decent correction. We're going to look at it right here from all-time highs. If you look at my screen, this is the all-time high to down here. We got about 17 and a half, almost 18% correction. So that is, really good correction on a stock like Google. And I think the bottom, I mean, look at the volume here, guys. It just speaks for itself. So when you see these types of volume showing up, uh, the bottom, it's got to be somewhere, here. So watch out if Google actually gets over 342, we will see Google going back up to 353 and possibly even into 359 to retest 20-day and maybe even retest the 50-day moving average. And the earnings season is going to kick off very soon. So watch out, big move possibly coming here on Google as well. To the downside, the next key critical support here on Google would be 328. On Amazon stock, it's up 2.50%. So Amazon, this is another one that I picked up and still holding. It was fantastic. I think I traded a couple of times right here, bounced, then another one here, bounced, and then I bought again on Thursday. And that position is still green and holding up. Just want to quickly look at how much Amazon came down. If you look at my screen, that is pretty significant. I mean, almost 20% correction. Anytime you see that on a name like Amazon, that's a great spot to be going long. So Amazon, as long as it actually remains over 224 here, I think we're in good spot. But look at the volume here, guys. That actually shows that money rotating back into these mega caps, Magnificent Seven stocks, right? And not AMD, not even Nvidia, but definitely Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, all of them showing these big moves, massive volume. Look at what happened here, and then boom, huge move to the upside. So it does not mean that we have to see continuation immediately, but this is a sign of possibly putting in a bottom, unless there is some catalyst which is there. But I think if you look at the war news and what's going on with Iran and US, the market doesn't care, guys. I don't think market cares a little bit what happens with the war, and oil. There is some escalation over the weekend, but I don't think that's going to, really impact the market that much. So watch out. Amazon over 232, holding right now, 5-day moving average. It can make a move up to 236, 242, and possibly even higher. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. On Nvidia, stock is down 1.64%. So, like I said, you can see, I mean, yes, we got some volume, but nothing like Microsoft, Apple, or Amazon. I mean, this thing is selling off. But if you look at my screen, we got a gap at like 190, just under 190, and we got really close to it on Friday's session. But Nvidia also due for a bounce, even a lower high. This thing can come up to 203, possibly even fill the gap, and I think there is a good chance if it comes down here, I'll be buying. I'll be a buyer because this one also, if you look at it, this is how you gotta pick your trades. I mean, from all-time highs all the way down here, guys, that is almost a 20% correction on a big, big trillion-dollar company. As a matter of fact, it was just over 5G, and now it's coming up, coming down from 5G to 4.66. So a decent correction. Maybe we go a little bit lower, 2-3%, but I think a bottom should be in here on Nvidia as well. So watch out for this. 195.62 will be a resistance to watch. You can see high of the day 195.55. If we can break over that, we will see a move up to 199.19 and then 203, possibly even into the gap right here, just under 208. All right, so Netflix, it was up just over 4%, and I think the earnings coming up just this upcoming month, middle of the month, but this is actually a monthly time frame, and I just wanted to look at this here. Netflix, when you look at this, guys, I mean, um, from all-time highs. down here, I mean, it's down quite a bit. I mean, almost 50%. That is a massive pullback, right? Now, why I have this monthly chart, just wanted to show you guys that this was the monthly rejection before we hit that correction. And how much did we go down here, guys? Let's have a look. So this correction was 76%. Does that mean that we have to go down 76%? We got a 50% correction. This was the double top, double rejection here. And now we're coming back and retesting that. So that is technically, something that can actually happen on a stock like Netflix. But look at right here. On Friday's session, we got a big bounce. So if this thing rises back up, I think, as long as we get over this, we got a rejection at 75. This was the previous low. If we can get over 75, quick time, you'll see 79 to 80, even 82. That's possible on Netflix. So if you're thinking about long, this is definitely a stock to look at right here on Netflix. And why I'm actually putting this on, because I will be going over SpaceX and Broadcom as well today, because it's just too cheap to live out. So I'm going to include this at least for today in this video, guys. On Broadcom, it's down 3.67%, big pullback, and we broke below this low. So I think 356 definitely possible. That can happen tomorrow. But if this thing bounces, gets over 373, which we got a rejection on Friday, watch out for move over that to 387 and possibly higher. As of right now, not really into chips. I think Nvidia is the only one that I like, and Broadcom possibly here. But any other names like AMD, AMU, no way. I mean, AMU is not even, something that I would trade right now. Just have a look at the premium, guys. It's nasty. And even if you're trying to buy shares, I mean, how many people here can actually go and afford $1,200 per, for a single share, right? So that's not going to happen. So, some of these names, yes, Broadcom is a market moving name, big, market moving stock. And I think this is another one that is, selling off pretty significantly. And when you look at this, guys, I mean, this is a decent correction from the top to the bottom, 26%. I think on a big name like Broadcom, that is decent enough correction. So I think if this thing, can hang on somewhere here, as long as we don't take out these lows, I think it's a perfect opportunity to play it back up to the upside. All right, so not gonna spend too much time on SpaceX. I mean, this is an hourly time frame. We had this downtrend, we had this mini breakout, and then came back in. But a lot of people are watching this. We actually took out the IPO low here, made a new low, and then we bounced off of that. So 147, pretty much right there. You can see multiple times we came back, found support. If that's out, people who chased, near 200 or over 200, they're going to feel the pain. And that's why whenever something comes into the market, you don't just go and buy it. A lot of people I have seen, they bought, they made some money. If they sold, yes, they were smart enough to, get out of that position. But, with no revenue, nothing, who's going to, space? Anybody flying into space using Elon Musk's, rockets? Let me know in the comment section. I don't think, you know, uh, anybody's doing that. Even Elon Musk himself is not going. Like, we saw Jeff Bezos going with Blue Origin once, right? But if he's so confident, and he's not a trillionaire anymore because of how this thing is selling up, right? The main point I'm trying to make, guys, no revenue, right? Nothing coming in, nothing big, and it's still like exploration technology, right? Trying to explore things. So when you're out in the wilderness, just exploring things, you don't make money. You know, once you start selling stuff, then you're going to start making money. So just I wanted to put that out. So I think if this thing takes out the 147, yes, this would be, or this could be a big company at some day. But as of right now, the valuation is too high. Out of nothing, based on the name, who's behind it, Elon Musk, and based on Tesla company, right? Company by itself is pretty much making nothing here, SpaceX. So if you think about buying this for long term, you want to buy cheaper. So, I would be interested, maybe close to 100, under 100 would be fantastic. And a lot of these names, they came down after IPO. Look at ARM. I know they're not the same company. So don't go in the comment section and say, oh, it's not the same company, even though those are better companies. Look at Rivian, look at Palantir, how long it took for that, massive move to the upside. So you don't want to get this right here. And you can start getting some shares, but you don't want to put all your money here thinking that it's going to do the same thing like Tesla. And then you find yourself SpaceX trading at like 30, 40, 50, $70, and you're down like 40% on your shares. You don't want that. So, if you wanna go long, you wanna try to get this, just try to do it slowly and watch the next earnings. Because I don't know what they're gonna come out and say, right? Now it's gonna have earnings, maybe no future guidance, right? Because like I said, nothing's selling, guys. So the key point I'm trying to make, watch this 147. That's out. We're gonna make low, and I haven't even touched this thing. Options are garbage. Delta is low. IV is super high and it's not paying anything. Let me know if you guys are actually trading this. Shares is much better way. But again, like I said, you don't want to buy this, at 150, 200, and then it's going down under 100 or close to 100. You will be still down. If this thing breaks 157.71, then game on for a move, possibly come up and retest these highs, 164, 165. So watch these levels next week going into tomorrow, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. And there will be a big sell on Patreon only for people that actually support my channel and they're serious about trading. People that are not serious don't even care. So that sale will be coming for possibly 3-4 days into the 4th of July weekend. So if you guys want to take an advantage, watch out, keep your notification on. I'll be posting a video and I'll make post on my Discord and on my X account. Thank you so much for watching, guys.